You are. You. Good girl. Good girl. Hello, hello! Okay, so this is brand new for me, trying to do some live streaming. Please let me know if this is working in the chat. That would be great. I think I'm all set up, more or less, for the actual streaming part. The painting part I sort of forgot about a little bit, but I want to do just a quick study today of an eye, because that's one of my go-tos anytime I don't know what I want to paint. So I've just got to quickly set up my panel. So let's get into our standard. There we go. And I'm just going to quickly move things around a bit and put on a light so you can see things a bit better. There we go. Ooh, you can kind of see my reference image there, but I don't know if it's going to strobe. So what I might do is just stick to the panel a bit more. Okay. Also, sorry if I talk to the puppy a little bit, because she's sitting here on the floor as well. Which is lovely, of course. Good girl. Just opening my medium. I still have to pick colours, but that's the fun part, isn't it? Just getting all the colours right. There we go. Okay. Anything. I might just move my head quickly. Yeah, moving me up there, I'm a bit less in the way. Good girl, settle. Good girl. She's lying down now. That's good. Okay, what colours are we going to start with? I normally start from light to dark, so let's start off with a light titanium yellow, which is a nice cool yellow. Also, sorry, my palette's not the cleanest, but it'll be fine. I'll clean it properly, I promise. So titanium white. Okay. What else do we need? Oh, I'll give it deeper yellow. I've got Naples Yellow Deep. Little. Okay. I also like yellow. Oh, no, this picture doesn't really need that. Permanent crimson. I'm going for the reds. And let's also do, kind of want, do I want magenta or do I want the, no, I want the language one. Can I rush my paint drawer from here? Yes. Is that colour I want? I swear, anyone who's designed a studio where you can reach everything from one spot is a genius. There it is. Brilliant pink. Yeah. That colour's so good. I'm interested to see how it looks on your screens compared to mine, because the colours are coming out a little funny on my screen. Settle, darling. Settle. I think next time I will take her for a walk before we start streaming. That is lesson number 1. Sapphire. Okay. You can still see that if I put that there? Yeah. Sweet. Good. And I think we're ready to go. One sec just to check my phone. Settle, sweetie. Settle. Okay. Medium, brushes, rag. Let's go. I haven't actually painted in like a a week and a half. My bad. But that's because Melbourne went into lockdown again and everything got really stressful. And I worked on everything but painting. Now this picture is pretty much red and green, so I'm going to do a little bit of mixing. And when I say red and green, I'm going to use a lot of turquoise and a lot of pink, because I can't just paint what's there, I like to sort of play with it. This is a piece of Colourfix prime paper, so it's got a acrylic primer on it already, to save me time in gessoing paper. Okay, the pup keeps saying she wants to go out, so I'm going to just quickly pop on be right back, and I'll be right back. Okay? Thank you. Let's go. Okay. Get it. And we're back. Sorry about that. Sometimes when the pup has to go, the pup has to go. But that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I might actually do this a bit bigger than I was thinking, just so you can see it a bit better. That's a bit better. I'm just putting in some baselines so you can see where my sketch is going to spread to. Wait a second. There we go. Now if anyone's in the chat, just tell me if the music's too loud or too quiet, okay? Because I can make it much louder if you prefer. This is all tunes provided by Chill Hop, who are lovely and recently discovered. definitely like that you can just have some nice lo-fi vibes in the background. It's lovely. Just going to tape down the bottom of the page so it doesn't shift around as much. Okay. Again, I'm just plonking in some basic chunks, almost like a plan, so I know where I'm putting things as I get distracted. Having some points to come back to is quite helpful. Most of these spots won't even be visible by the time we're done, but they're just an idea. I should have wet the page before I started. Often I like wetting the page with my medium, so that it's sort of like painting wet in wet. So I might quickly just grab a dodgy brush. Ooh, you guys maybe? Yes you are. One sec. Sorry, I didn't realise the tripod was resting on my chair. There you go. Ooh. Sorry for all the moving. Actually, while we're testing, I'm going to very quickly move you to my other side and see if that looks better. If you can see a bit more of what I'm painting rather than more of the palette. So give me 1 sec. Sorry, that's why this was called a test, so we could figure this stuff out. Sorry for the motion sickness. Okay. Let's put you there. Can't tell if that's better or not. Just going to quickly mess with the camera settings because I know I can zoom it in. Oh, hi Jay! Thank you so much for being in the chat. Can you tell me? Is the volume okay? Please. There we go, that looks a little better. See that? Oh, we're a bit tilty. 1 sec. I'm so sorry for all the moving. Oh, hi Celine! How you going? Oh, you're not getting audio. Okay, okay. Why is that? Good question. The mic is on, that one's on. Let me... What can I do? What can I do to play with audio? Hi Art and Soul! Sorry, hi Kay. It sounds very faint. Okay, a bit quiet. Okay, okay. I can do that. I can definitely turn that up. Where are my mic settings? Settings. Audio. Thank you. Let's try switching to settings. How can I do that? I can change my microphone. How do I change my microphone volume? That's a good question. That's a good question. Output. Gain. Oh, there we go. Is that better? Oh, okay, okay. I've added some volume to the mic, so... Oh, perfect. Thank you, Celine. Yay! We defeated our first stream problem. Yay! It's the little victories, isn't it? Alright, what was I doing? I was wetting the page so I can paint wet and wet. That's what I was doing. So I'm using some of my oil medium just to lock everything in. This is a really awful brush, but I grabbed it because I didn't want to use one of my good ones. Oh, it's your first live watch! I do admit I haven't caught that many of them because there's so many like American and European people. Oh, thank you so much for saying you can hear me okay. That's wonderful. But yeah, I watch so many video makers who stream at like 3 AM here in Australia that you don't catch many live streams. I've caught a couple of Australian live streams. The Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, our orchestra, has been doing some beautiful online content during lockdown. If anyone doesn't know, Melbourne at the moment is locked down because of a COVID outbreak again. So we're all staying home. We've sort of had brief moments of not being locked down, and then something else will happen, someone else will spread something, and then we lock down again. So it's definitely not as severe as other parts of the world, but oh, see how beautiful the paint's spreading now? Because it's got that bit of oil just gliding it across the surface. Alright, let's get some other dark values in. I'm just mixing some of my sapphire with permanent crimson. I'm just going to block in with some more of my darks are going to go, and this will give you the shape a bit more, which is a bit fun. How is everyone's day today? It's 10:30 in the morning. I'm not normally even up and ready for the day yet. But I wanted to give this a go. Yeah, I think I like the camera better on that side. I feel like you can see more. Maybe I need to figure out a way to have it like over my shoulder so it's less tilty. Further experimenting. Oh, 9 PM in Connecticut, that's not too bad. That seems like a pretty good time. That's not too late for you guys. And it's not too early for me, so that seems not too bad. I do admit I'm not very mathsy, so trying to calculate all the international times. I used Google briefly and it just sort of said, morning is better. Meh. Pittsburgh? Oh, fantastic. Well, that's not bad at all then, I'm glad. Oh, thank you, Melody. Thank you for subscribing. Oh yeah, definitely paint along. Oh, that's what I would hope with these live streams. When I was in uni, we used to all have this great get together and paint together vibe, and everyone was more productive when one of us was being productive, as opposed to when we tried to go off and do things on our own. So I was hoping live streaming would sort of give me that community energy a bit with everyone else painting along and chatting. Because sometimes when you just sit in your studio by yourself, it's very hard to get motivated. Like, don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but some days you just feel like a slug. From CT, is that Connecticut as well? Cool. That's awesome. Alright, I've done this eyelid way too small, so we're just gonna grow it out a little bit just by nudging it. Grab a bit more of that light from over there. There we go. Grow. I know the colours make absolutely no sense right now, but they will. Hopefully. As we go. Oh, thank you, Melody, so much for subscribing. I'm getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. It's really exciting. I've been on YouTube posting videos, not just watching, for about 2 years now. So it's mainly just been a hobby because I love learning new things and I really love watching other people's video content, especially when it comes to like time lapses and seeing paintings being made. So that sort of got me interested in recording my own work, so I could watch it back. I don't know, I always have this weird fear that I'm going to forget how to paint, so having recordings where I can watch myself do it gives me a lot of peace of mind that I know how to do it, and I'm not going to forget. But yeah, if you go back and watch my early videos, they're trash, so don't. I didn't know what I was doing at all. Here we go, I'm going to learn all my US state abbreviations through this, am I? That'll be good, because I don't know any of them at all. Where did I send something the other day? I sent something to Colorado, and that was CO, so that's one. And I've sent something to California. I haven't sent a lot of things to the US, but the few things I have sent, it's always been very exciting. When you send international post, it's always very exciting. Or maybe that's just me. I love going to the post office being like, I'm sending something really far away. Achievement. Alright, let's get that pink in above the lid. Pink, 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 pink. So interesting looking through the stream, seeing how different the colours look on my palette on the screen versus in person. They're not too bad, but they're definitely like hyper vibrant through the screen. And don't worry, I'll definitely post a picture of this when it's finished on my Instagram so you can see it. Oh, thank you, Melody, that's lovely. Growth on YouTube. It's hard. Growth on YouTube, I don't obviously have a lot of experience with it because I'm just getting close to 1,000 subscribers. It was definitely just friends and family to start. I signed my dad up for YouTube so he could be one of my subscribers and things like that. Asking everyone, oh, do you have a Gmail account? Do you know that means that you can have a YouTube account? Yeah, just click this button here and then click Liz Gridley and then click subscribe. Yeah, there you go. So it was a bit of that to start with. I think that's how I got my first 50 subscribers, and that was a big achievement at the start. And then I've taken part in two art challenges. The first one was Oiltober in October. And that was spurred by Lena Dania, who's one of my favourite art YouTubers. She's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful human being as well as artist, so definitely check her out. She was in Florida and now I think she's in Washington? She moved north, so she's in Snowtown now, like snowy parts of America now. But yeah, no, her work is absolutely stunning, and she was a big inspiration for sort of YouTube channels that I loved. That I was like, yeah, maybe I could do this as well. Maybe I could, if she could do it, why can't I do it? Why not? Let's have a go. Yeah, so that was my first dibble dabble. And then in terms of growth, honestly, a little bit is just letting the algorithm do its thing. I've only really had one burst of activity when I look at my analytics in the background, and it was my studio tour video from 2020. Got picked up by the algorithm and they started sharing it to a lot more places, and a lot more people found me through that. So I'm very thankful that one of my videos got picked up, and that's my only video that's got like higher views. I think it's got like 5,000 views or something. All my other videos are only in the couple of hundreds because they're the main subscribers who come back and watch my work. So yeah, it's hard. I don't know any magic things, but yeah, the challenges were good because people who were doing the challenge saw my work, and a big part of that as well was last year I sold all my Oiltober paintings. Well, I haven't sold all of them, but I sold most of them, because more people were taking part in the challenge, because that was the second year of Oiltober, obviously inspired by Inktober, but in oil paint. Yeah, so I don't know, those sort of challenges where a lot of people are doing the same thing at the same time, people are looking for who's taking part, so they might be looking for your channel if you're doing that kind of thing, which is exciting. So I hope that answers the question a bit for you. Oh, hi Kim! Thank you for subscribing! Oh, you're in Sacramento, cool! Yes, so this is a paper that comes pre-primed, so it's got acrylic primer on it, a coloured acrylic primer on it when you buy it. It's called Colour Fix. It's made by the Australian brand Art Spectrum, but a couple of other pastel brands make it as well. And this is particularly a smooth finish paper, so it's actually normally designed for pastel work and has a tooth to it, but when they came out with the smooth version, I was like, it's coloured gesso on a paper. That's perfect for oil painting. It's easy for me to take to life drawing and things like that, and it's easy for me to just, in opportunities like today where I didn't want to paint on a canvas or something big, I'm like, oh, piece of paper, there we go, let's go, I'm ready to go. Oh, hi Sarah! My sister's in the chat, she's great, yay! Anjay, you're here too! Oh! Thank you for getting one of my works framed. You'll have to send me a photo when it's done. I want to see a photo of it all framed. That would be lovely. You guys are so good. You've got such an amazing art collection. Jay and his partner Jazz, like, oh, you guys are just, you killer. You got so much cool stuff. Oh, how'd you go at Supernova, Jay? Jay recently showed his work at one of our public conventions before we shut down again. So I'm very glad Supernova got in just before that happened. So you guys could all still show your work that you worked so hard on. Because yeah, that would have sucked. Yeah, I've got things stuck at the framers as well. I've got one piece for a show that was meant to open next weekend. That's stuck at the framers, and then I've got a big Batman piece for my husband stuck at the framers. That one fell off the wall because it only had a terrible hook on the back, so I'm getting it framed properly so it doesn't fall off the wall again. No worries, Kim. I could talk all day, so that's part of the live streaming thing. You give me a reason to talk, I'll just keep talking. It's fun. And it's fun talking about this kind of stuff as well, because when I started on YouTube, like, it was just guessing. And all the health videos are like, how to make your influencer channel, how to make your tech channel. And I'm like, no, I want to make art channel. There isn't even an art category on YouTube. It's kind of sad. They've got technology and how to, like, we get lumped in with how to, and I'm like, I feel like art should be a category, because it's what a lot of people are looking for, visual art or just art in general, and leave it a bit vague so performance art falls under it and things like that as well. But it should be a channel for artists. On the explore page, I mean. So, oh well. Things I would like to see. Alright, I need some white in the eye. Very much so. Ooh, that's fierce. I like it. Sometimes you chuck in a bright colour and it's like too bright, but it looks really fun. That's what that is. That bee needs to be brighter. That's a bit better. Yay. And hopefully, if the recording of this session is good enough, I can turn it into a time lapse as well. That's another one of my hopes. So that I can get some cute time lapses. Supernova was fun, lots of great art chats and meeting new people, yay! And lockdown projects. Yeah, some people have been so productive in lockdown. I have been the opposite. I get stuck in my head being an emotive artist, an emotional artist, and if I'm emotionally not productive, I'm not physically productive. But that's okay. I keep telling myself that's okay. Not everyone can be wizards, but I fully respect everyone who has been wizards over lockdown and made amazing works. Because that's just awesome. I normally don't use a lot of white at the start of a painting. I normally bring it in later, but I've been a bit slap happy with this because I'm having fun. And the dog's asleep now, so I don't feel as worried, which is good. She's still only 4.5 months old. So we're still figuring out studio life, but she's getting there. We're currently transitioning from a morning walk to a lunchtime walk because I got tired of getting up at 7 a.m. My own laziness, but They say if the dog's schedule is your schedule, then it doesn't feel like work. So that's why we're transitioning to a lunchtime walk, because I should really get up and walk around after painting for a few hours, or doing emails for a few hours, or whatever I spend my morning doing. Need more darks. Might switch to a smaller brush soon. I just wanted to get the majority locked in. And I do want to leave it a little bit messy. I want to leave it a bit painterly because of all the bright colour and because of the way I've positioned it on the page. I think if I left like harsh lines, it would look a bit wrong, a bit severe. Yeah, so we'll keep blocking until we feel like that's enough. This photograph, she's got a red light on her face in one direction, and then she's got a teal light or green light on the other direction, so it's a bit choppy to try and figure out which light is which. And then she's got big false eyelashes, which I'm going to leave till last because they'll go sort of over the top of everything else that I'm painting. With false eyelashes and things like that, they put shadows everywhere. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it just makes a more simple area so much more complicated. Tips for using more bright colours in your skin tones. Avoid using white. I know it sounds simple, but when you it depends on how you paint. So if you mix up all your tones first, like a lot of artists do, is it Daria Camel here on YouTube? I absolutely love. She mixes sort of most of her tones before she starts. I think Lena does as well. That's fine, but then you're sticking to that range. As you can see, I sort of start with a bunch of blobs straight from the tube, and then I do a little bit of mixing, but I don't do a lot. A lot of the time I'm just taking the straight colour and I'm sort of mixing it into the colour on the board, so I'm doing a lot of painting on the board rather than before. And I find that keeps the high chroma of the colour, so it keeps it as intense as it was out of the tube. Also, do you see any white here? I've mixed white into things, but I've mostly mixed my titanium yellow and my Naples yellow deep to lighten things. So something that's a light value but still has a bit of chroma to it, I find doesn't kill the colours straight away, and it doesn't sort of get everything looking a bit dull. And that's often the thing that, people who say, oh, I want a bit more intensity in my undertones, it's just a bit more intensity in your paint in general. Because we use titanium white as our standard white. Titanium white is a powerful white. You really don't need much, because if you use slightly too much, it just obliterates the chroma of your colour. Another thing you could do instead is switch out your titanium white for a mixing white. And there's a whole bunch of different ones. So obviously flake white was the old one that had lead in it. I would still avoid that personally, because I know the second I have lead in the studio, I'll just be scared of it. So I'm not going to go with it. Gambler makes a flake white replacement, which is the same idea of a transparent mixing white without the lead. So that's one option. I really like Tinting White by Langridge, which is made here in Australia. They're fabulous. They're through Jackson's and stuff now, so they're much easier to get, which is great. And it's basically, it's an idea of lightening your colours without obliterating them. So as titanium white is really powerful, Tinting White and Flake White, they're much weaker whites. And that's a good thing, because when you're mixing your undertones for your skin and that, you don't want to obliterate those chroma colours, those yellow ochres, those pinks, all those tones that you're putting in there. In general, life rule, it's much easier to calm something down than it is to get it more high chroma again. So start with more and you can always calm it down. And the same with this, like I've started with insane colours and I can calm it down and calm it down. I could turn this into full realism if I wanted to over a few layers, but I don't want to. I want to keep some of that intensity. I like intensity, it's fun. So I hope that's helpful, Melody. Yeah. I think when we all start out painting, we're just told, oh yeah, titanium white is white, like it is with acrylics. But in acrylics, the whites tend to be a lot weaker. You always need heaps of white to compensate for whatever colour you're mixing it into. Like, can you imagine making a skin tone in acrylics when you're in like primary school and you just keep adding red and white and you're like, why does this look like a salmon? All that kind of thing. You end up going through so much paint, but in oil, titanium white is powerful. Powerful. That's okay. Anytime. Yeah. The only time these things get a bit hard to explain is I'm not quite sure how everyone paints. Everyone paints a little bit differently. I do a lot of alla prima, but I do a lot of layering as well, so I'm very much a finger in all the pies kind of artist. I like to do lots of different things rather than one style all the time. Alright, I'm just going to switch to a smaller brush. So I've been using a little filbert dude, like him, so far, because he has soft edges. He lets me just plonk stuff in and smush it around, and this one's a synthetic bristle, so I can be quite rough with it, but it doesn't tend to go like natural bristles do, or some natural bristles do. I'm not biased against natural bristles, I just don't prefer them. They have their place, and they're definitely good in things like canvas, where you've got to fill in that texture of the canvas, but when you're on smooth surfaces, unless you want a big texture brush stroke, yeah, not my first preference. So now I'm switching to a little angled taklon, so there's a little skinny dude that goes to an angle, and this is basically my lazy man brush, because I can do wide strokes, I can do thin lines, and I can do point work. So lazy brush, don't have to change brushes often. Which, as you can tell, I don't really change brush that often. I know some artists have like one brush for every colour, and that's a beautiful way to work. I'm just not that organised. I would love to be in another life, but I'm more of a scatterbrain. So, oh, this is my other friend I'll bring in. This is my marl stick. So it's just a golf putter that I've put stretchy tape on. The stretchy tape is for people who have like shovels and they want the grip to be better. It just allows me to lean it on the top of the easel and then lean my wrist on the bar so I don't put my wrist in wet paint. Which is awesome. I think I talked about my marl stick in my last video, the how to paint a pet portrait one. Oh, good question, Jay. Yeah, what is melody painting? Tell us about your projects. Thank you. So how long have we been going? I've got no sense of time. Been going over half an hour? I think we have. So I pick up a lump of white and it's just too much. It needs to be not that. Oh, commission! Congrats! That's awesome! Oh, and it's a big one. A woman whose head is a bouquet of flowers. Ooh. That's really cool. Are you doing it in oils or are you doing it in acrylics or? Big one's fun. I always want to do big paintings, but I struggle selling them, honestly. For some reason. People don't have giant walls at home all the time. So a commission is great for a big one because that means they've told you exactly how big they want. And you get all the fun and freedom of working big. This was meant to be just an eye, but we're spreading a bit. Whoops. Just keep seeing more fun coloured shapes. I want to jump in. I want to bring in more yellow, so I'm just going to quickly get a cadmium yellow. One sec. Or maybe a golden yellow. What can I reach? Radiant yellow, that'll work. Oh, no, I can reach cadmium. Yeah! Just because my Naples Yellow Deep is still not powerful enough. But I can always calm this down. Again, if you start with really bright, you can always calm it down. Oh, this cadmium yellow is goopy. Let's see how long that lasts in the pot. Yeah. Oh, that's so much better. Yay. Oil painting, yay. I'm not biased. Love at first brush stroke. Yeah, no, I definitely feel similar. My only mistake when I very first started oil paint was at high school, they didn't have oil mediums, they only had terps. So I was using it with just terps and it wasn't flowing, and I was like, this is a really frustrating paint, why do people like this? And then at uni they were all like, oh, you meant to use oil. And I'm like, oh, I might do that then. And then I loved it. Celine, I have. I'm probably just not there yet in terms of Patreon. Mainly because only this month, May, I have started being an artist full-time again. I tried it a few years ago when my husband and I lived in the country, and it was good. It had its problems. I got stuck in my head a lot and I didn't have a lot of social support because I was living 4 hours away from all my friends and family. That was a bit of a struggle. And then when I came back, I got a job again, and then just now we've decided I'll give it a go again, both for my own mental health and for we're in a situation at the moment where we've got the savings account, so we're gonna see how long that lasts us with me not working my side jobs. Yeah, it's a bit scary, I'll be honest, but because of that I haven't until now sort of had the time to commit to both making art and doing all the things around that. That is the YouTube, the Instagram, and maybe things like Patreon. So it's definitely something I would consider and would maybe like to do, but I'm a little worried just because I know some people spend so much time making content for their Patreon that they don't have time for other things. So I don't know, I think I just need to look into it more. If I look into Patreon more and then think about it from there, but if anyone wants to support my work, I do have a Ko-fi account, which is a you can buy me a coffee account. I run on caffeine, so I super appreciate anyone who buys me a coffee. But other than that, yeah, I'm just looking to sort of bolster my YouTube, and hey, if by the end of the year I can get monetized, I will be so incredibly thankful and chuffed, honestly. I needed the 1,000 subscribers and we're getting close on that one, but I also need 4,000 watch hours and we're not there yet with that, unfortunately. I've still got a ways to go, so I'm hoping if we keep going the way we're going, maybe by the end of the year, but no guarantees in this digital life. No guarantees at all. Yeah, what are other people working on? Jay, you've just got to do more painting. You should come over and paint with me sometime. Oils, it just takes a bit of getting used to, and unfortunately you're also used to having an undo button on the iPad, which is a lot faster. Oils, you can undo your mistakes, unlike other painting like watercolour, which I super love, watercolour scares the living daylights out of me because you can't undo problems. So yeah, that freaks me out. But oils, you can. You've just got to know the tips and tricks and practice. That's all you got to do. I super love what you do on the iPad and everything though. Seriously, Procreate people are wizards. They are. Ooh, Kate's working on a beach landscape. That's such a thing, isn't it? You finish half of a project and then you're like, how do you get back that momentum to do the other half? I have that many half-finished paintings. It drives me insane. And like, I'll have big gaps in between where I'm like, oh, I want to post something to Instagram. All I've got is half-finished work. Blech. Which I do post half my unfinished work, but sometimes if it's going in a show or something like that, they don't want you to. So then I just post nothing for 3 weeks, which I hate. Well, thank you for subscribing. Oh, thank you, Melody. That's so nice to know people like Patreon. That's good to know. Yay, thank you, Kate. I will keep that in mind. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's made me very smiley. Because yeah, that's the other worry with things like Patreon is you're like, what if no one wants to do it? But this is part of why I need to talk to people when I'm in the studio, because if I just sit here with my own brain, it could get very negative, and I try and make my brain not do that, because that's better for everyone. Okay, I don't mind most of this. I'm just fiddling with where things are at the moment. Like, the white of the eye is taking up too much space, so I've got to wiggle that in a little bit. This is what I mean with oils. You can just shove things. It's like using the smudge tool in Photoshop. You just shove it where you want it to go. Shove, shove, shove. Oh, that cadmium was such a good call. I'm so happy. Yeah. 3 paintings at a time. That's a good way to do it. Hi, Yik! How you going? Thank you for being here. Miss you guys. Also, did you get mail yesterday? No reason. Hi, Tani! Oh, this is so lovely. There's so many people here. I'm so happy. This is only the test run, guys. This isn't even the proper streaming experience, right? This was just meant to be a test. I'm very happy with how this is going, for the record. Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. Oh, thank you. I'm happy with how it's going, considering it was just a pull a random picture out of my inspiration folder. You know that folder on your computer you constantly put things in and then you never go back and look at like you meant to? Yeah, that one. Oh, boo. I'll have to check something. For Yik, not for the pain. I will check the thing. You didn't get a delivery card. That's what I've got to watch here on live stream. I often just make sound effects while I'm painting because blobs are fun to play with. Oh, I like that. Okay. Okay. Let's just bring some of the shapes a bit further together. And that's just adding these little transitional bits in so all the shapes make sense together. The lights on her face are sort of bringing out every little wrinkle around her eye, but I don't want to be too heavy-handed with that. The shape is way too big. There we go. That's what most of this darkness here is just shadow from her eyelashes coming out. Let's set that bit light. This is my favourite part. Oh, we love a highlight. We love a highlight. Can anyone tell me, on the stream, does it say somewhere how long it's been going for? Because I have many numbers in front of me. Oh, you're doing another collab. That's awesome! Your last collab was so cool. I'm so excited. Yay! That was really fun doing a collab. Although, yeah, doing a collab between digital and oil painting is difficult, we found out. He's going to colour your line work and you'll colour his. Oh, yay! Yeah, I did like that because then you ended up with multiple artworks. That was really cool. Oh, that's exciting. What are you doing for it? Do you know? What line work are you working on? I'm asking for all the secrets. I like secrets. I did love Miguel's last one. Oh, his last was like a goat with all this pink and blue. I'm gonna have to end up setting up like a stream where I just gush about all the artists I love because there's a lot of you. Okay, thanks you. I will just guess I've been going for a little bit under an hour, so let's go for a little bit longer and then it'll be an hour. Maybe. Maybe. I'm getting close to sort of where I want to go and then it'll just be me fiddling with the painting, which you don't want to give yourself too much chance to fiddle with something when it's fast like this, because that's when I get scared of overworking it. Alright, let's add some eyelashes. The theme is plants. Ooh. Ooh. I think you could all tell me when I'm finished streaming how long the whole recording was. It's mostly on my end. I can see like people's average watch time. I can see who's been watching, and I can see that I'm public. Oh no, there's a timer. I found it. Yay! We've been going for 1 hour and 58 seconds. Ha! My gut was right. We were about an hour. Cool. Okay. It is the tiniest number on the screen in the top left, but it's there. Oh, these are some powerful 80s eyelashes. These are fun. Probably because I'm using a brush that's honestly a little bit too wide for eyelashes, but you know, I'm lazy. When I say I'm lazy, it's more I've made the choice to not go pursue another option. Oof, they're powerful. I don't think watch time is competitive, Sarah. I don't think I can check person by person who's got the best watch time. It's just an average. I think there is something eventually, like if you're monetized, you see a lot more data on people individually, but I think that's when you're using like live streaming alerts and super chats, I think they call it, when people can donate to chat loudly or something. I don't know. I haven't looked into all that stuff yet because I'm not monetized yet, so I don't need to worry about it. Oh, those eyelashes could stab someone. I like them. And we'll do some little lowers because lower eyelashes exist, even though I never put mascara on my lower eyelashes. Personally. It just makes it a lot more likely to go weepy, in my opinion, but I think that's my eye shape, so it's probably a eye shape thing. Ooh, do I like that? No, I don't like that. Let's get rid of that. That's where the other eyebrow is, but I don't want to spread that far. Let's just take that off. First comment was at 10 minutes. Yeah, so that sort of was when we went live, more or less. Giveaway. What's a giveaway? I missed that. I'm sorry. My studio assistant has given me some feedback, especially at the start of this piece. The feedback was, no, let's go sit in the lounge room. And after I took her out, it was also, no. And then I gave her her toy covered in yogurt, and then she was like, fine. Her current feedback is, I'm asleep. And after this, I think I need to take her for a walk, because my studio assistant is very demanding. She's very cute. I do have a screen set up so I could do puppy cam, but she's decided to sleep in a place that I can't film her. So she's sneaky like that. She's sleeping literally against the door to show me her displeasure of being in here, but she gets up to mischief outside if I leave her alone, so this morning's mischief while I left her in bed was I found a rock and I'm going to chew on that instead of all my chew toys, because rocks are delicious, apparently. I'm not a crazy dog mum at all. Jazz, hi! How are you? Tubing mascara? What's tubing mascara? Oh, for winning the watch time. Well, if I could make it competitive, who knows? We could do something like that. Dun, 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 dun. Is that what people do on Patreon? They like make their Patreons compete for each other, compete for love. I'm actually really liking this now. Oh, I'm just gonna fiddle with like 2 more bits and then I think we'll be done. Because again, I don't want to overdo it. But the eyelashes really helped. They did a lot, which was good. I know, Sarah, and I had the puppy cam ready to go, but she has decided no. And we're going to respect the dog's, consent in this one case. But if anyone wants to go see my puppy, just go watch my Getting My Studio Assistant video, because that's her baby pictures. I made a YouTube video of my dog, so I permanently had her baby pictures online. Of when we first got her. I need to make an updated version because she's already grown up so much. She's like 4.5 months now. But still, I am very glad to have a permanent baby video of my puppy when I need it. Accessible. Although I already regret not taking more footage of her when she was that young, and I felt like I was filming her every 2 seconds, so what can you do? Damn, Patreon support, only 1 leaves. At the moment I am not using black. It depends on the job. I do like ivory black because it leans cold, so it leans blue. If you mix white with ivory black, it sort of goes into this dark navy colour. I also like indanthrene blue, which is a really, really dark blue, but it's just much more powerful, so I use that as a sub for black a lot of the time. It mainly is just, like, I don't have a problem with black. It's fine. It's just I find it very muted a lot of the time. And as I was saying before, if I'm doing high chroma work like this with intense colours, a lot of the time I don't want something that's already muted out of the tube, so then I don't use it as much. So all of my blacks in this are a mix of sapphire and permanent crimson, and it's come out like a very, very dark navy, basically. Yeah, and that sort of does the job for me. But it depends on the piece. And I do a lot of black and white paintings. I like black and white paintings. I normally use lamp black for that one because it's more neutral, which is really nice. Tubing mascara creates little tubes around your lashes instead of adding pigment. Ooh! That sounds fun and weird. I like fun and weird. Can I ask which brand you got? Just in case I feel like internet shopping later. Not that I should be internet shopping because I'm a full-time artist now and that costs the monies. Part of my fear about being a full-time artist is that I can't spend money on fun things because we will run out of money. But I know that's not true. I just want to be frugal. I'm just adding some more intense teal in the middle of those teal sections to just make sure they really pop where I want them to. And then I think we're pretty much done. missed? Maybe one, maybe two. Just because we'd love a highlight. Got too much highlight. No, that's fine. Ooh, Mecca has one. Intriguing information. Thank you, chat, for the intriguing information about fancy mascara. I don't even know what my current one is called, but my sister recommended it because it's cruelty-free. So I bought a cruelty-free one, and it works pretty good. It's just, it doesn't want to come off easily because it's waterproof, which is exactly what I wanted, but sometimes my eyes protest having mascara for 4 days because my makeup remover doesn't want to remove it. And that's probably fair enough, but I'm just putting on some chunks of this brilliant magenta again. Sometimes if I want a colour to be really intense at the end, I just literally slather it on like cake icing in that section. So it's got no chance of not being full chroma. Yeah. Honestly, I wonder if I should mic the dog, because just hearing all their little sleep grumbles is so cute. Yay! Thank you! Thank you everyone for joining. I think I'm done. Yay! So brushes down. Yay! Let me see if I can show you just the full thing. Board only. Yay! Jay, you don't have to, but down in my YouTube links, in the description, there's a Ko-fi link. It's like K-O-F-I. And yeah, if anyone feels so inclined, you can buy me a coffee, and after I walk, I'm gonna totally caffeinate myself, which would be great. I do love some caffeine. Let's go back to this one. Thank you all so much for coming to my little test. I'm gonna figure out what time is best to go live. Thank you. And I'm gonna post a picture of this finished one on my Instagram, which is just at Liz Gridley Artist. So check it out there for the proper colours and everything. And thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. This has been really fun. I really love chatting art anytime, all the time. So I hope to live stream at least once a week. And yeah, Wednesdays might work out well, we'll see. But I'm glad this time worked out well for some people. I might try a nighttime Australia stream, which would be morning for America. And I will post on my Instagram stories when I'll do that, but that'll just be a test again. And then we'll sort of in June be more consistent with streaming once a week. Alright, love you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna change screen again. Oh, I didn't make a finishing screen. My bad. Alright, I'll just say goodbye now.